guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be doing a video that's a little outside of my wheelhouse that I normally do, but I wanted to talk about the game Diablo 3 for a little bit. Now, a lot of people are familiar with the game Diablo 3. It was released in 2012 by Blizzard Entertainment, the same company that's responsible for World of Warcraft, Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone, and many other video games, StarCraft 2, the Warcraft RTSs. So they're a very trusted, very popular company. How in the world could I forget? They did Diablo 1 and 2 as well. So, but when Diablo 3 came out in 2012, there was a lot of controversy around the game. A lot of people didn't like some of the mechanics. They didn't like the story. They felt that it had kind of been changed too much. So there was a lot going on. Despite that, the game sold like 30 million copies. It was crazy. It was one of Blizzard's most best-selling games. And so kind of what this all leads up to is the question that is asked by many people nowadays: is Diablo 3 still worth playing now, in years later, in 2016 and soon to be 2017? So hopefully I'll be able to give you an answer to that question of basically, is it worth playing? You may have friends who play, and you may be wondering, hey, should I drop 40 bucks or $29.99 when it's on sale to get Reaper of Souls and Diablo 3 to play? Is it as fun as the other ones? Is it worth it? So basically, I would say that all depends really on what you, as the player, are interested in doing. So basically, Diablo 3, well, the first Diablo 1 and 2 were very particular style of game. They were the top-down MOBA style. So they were very, very popular. People really liked them. And so, then Diablo 3 came along, improved upon a lot of that stuff, and also increased its loot system, and just did a lot of stuff like that. I'm gonna go ahead here and turn down the volume a little bit here so that you can hear me. And so at that time they constructed, released Diablo 3. Now there is a lot changed from the original games. A lot of the mechanics, obviously the graphics and such, are very different. Diablo 3, its main strength was its story. Its 5-act or 4-act when it came out, and then they added it with Reaper of Souls. Told a very good, very complete, very enthralling story that had a lot of myth behind it. Was taken from the apocryphal books of Christianity, and kind of placed you in this dark yet slightly humorous world where you basically got to fight the forces of evil. And so a lot of people really enjoyed the game. A lot of them played right through it and everything, but then it was kind of the whole story of, oh well, what do we do now? And a lot of one of the criticisms for this game versus Diablo 2 and Lords of Destruction was the fact that the game didn't feel like its replay value was quite as much as the other ones. That people played through the game 1, 2, maybe even 3 times, and then they were like, oh, I'm kind of done now. I'm not really into playing through the storyline again. And so for a while, that was kind of what you did with Diablo 3. Now, everything changed with the game once they opened up what was called Seasons. And the Seasons originally was you would play through the game, but then they opened up something called Adventure Mode. Now, Adventure Mode changed everything about the game. It basically turned the game from being a very linear style video game to being almost very close to kind of an MMO in a lot of ways. Because when you go into the Adventure Mode, I can show you kind of what it looks like here. You have the option of either creating a private game with yourself. You also have the option of joining a public game. Now, the public games have 4 players in them. And you basically have, the adventure mode opens the entire map, all the maps from all 5 acts, and allows you basically to, go to any of them at will. So I will show you what it looks like. If you open it to a public game, you have the choices of choosing your torment level, which is basically your levels of difficulty. It goes all the way from normal all the way up to torment 10. And I haven't quite leveled up to get to torment 10. I have to be Paragon level 400. So you basically choose whichever one you would like to go to, say Torment 3, and then you can select whether you want to play Bounties, Rift, Greater Rift, Key Wardens, or Brawling. Many people go with Rifts. Right now there's not anybody playing that, and there's not, according to that, any people playing Bounties either. So, but what Adventure Mode did was it created all of these awards that you could do, that you could go into any map and you could basically bounty hunt. They'd be like, oh, go and kill, Diablo, go and, kill this many demons in this map and such. And then if you completed it and you turned it back into Tyrell, you could get some boxes full of loot. And those loot boxes came with recipes, they came with diamonds, gold, weapons, legendary items, and set weapons and armor. And so it kind of created this really fun kind of team aspect. They also added rifts, which were, they're known as Nephilim rifts, and they're basically these dungeons that are random every time, and they're filled with a random amount of enemies that you face. And you can select a different level of difficulty for the rifts. And then basically you go in and there's achievements that you can get in order to complete those rifts. There's also greater rifts, which are special rifts that you get from a key from completing normal rifts. Those ones don't give you any loot during the course of the game, but you get some at the end, and you can enchant a special diamond that you get as a reward at the end. So there really is basically the bounties, the rifts, the greater rifts are kind of what are used as a means for in-game for Diablo 3, that once you've played through the storyline, you actually can then go to adventure mode and just go through, hop on with friends, hop on with strangers online, and complete these bounties and get your rewards. Now I'm going to show you here what they also added to the seasons. I believe we're in Season 8 right now. Each season lasts approximately 3 months or so, 2 to 3 months. Is that you have different chapters that you can complete. You start in Chapter 1, and you go through and you have to basically get all of these achievements. Now once you have completed all 4 chapters of the game and gotten all of these achievements, then you get a special set of armor, and you also get wings and a portrait frame. And so it kind of gives a little bit of added incentive to jump ahead and and play to get these special things. And these rewards change every season. Once you have completed that, there are additional objectives that you can do, like this one here. To get the Slayer title, you have to complete these 10 objectives, and I'm at 4 of 10 right now. So there is a lot to do once you've completed the game and in the in-game. And in my opinion, the game is very worth playing now in 2016 as it was in 2012. They fix and they patch the game content every single season. So bugs and new content are added. There's also new maps that are added, new enemies, new quests. And there's even rumors of a possible expansion that may be coming out soon that would take place after Reaper of Souls. So in my opinion, if you enjoy this style of gameplay, then I would say you would really enjoy Diablo 3 now in 2016. And if you're like me, I got so into the seasons that I actually started playing the adventure mode in seasons before I'd even finished the game. And I found it to be very enjoyable with a great story, even without having played through all 5 acts already. So I would say, if you're on the fence, I would say give it a try. The game is humorous, it's fun, there's pets, and there's literally thousands of different choices of armor and weapons that you can get. There's dozens of different types of builds. They're adding a new class, the Necromancer, that's going to be coming out soon. And so there's a lot of different options that you can play. So I would say give it a try. And you may like it, you may not, but most people that I've run into who have played it have all enjoyed it to at least some extent. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later.